These are the Viture Beast XR glasses featuring Sony micro OLED screens at 1200p for what they say is 4K-like clarity, and these go all the way up to 1250 nits. And these ones actually support ultra-wide, so productivity users rejoice, and there's a 2D to 3D setting as well. Now, we've looked at a lot of Viture glasses in the past, and we are actually a big fans, other than the price, we must admit. But the first thing that struck me is the fact that these don't have any myopia adjustments on this model. So instead, you can just get like prescription lenses for them, whereas in past models you had like adjustment dials on the top. These don't have that. But these ones in particular, the Beast, are effectively brighter, more feature-packed versions of previous Viture models that we've seen before. And I have to say, I actually do think I like these more so than any of the other ones that I've tried. So off the bat then, the box is great. I know it's just a box, but it still looks the part, it looks good quality, and I'd expect that for the price point. Inside, there's not too much fluff. We literally just get a good quality, solid travel case for your glasses, which you are gonna need because, you know, you probably are gonna be using these outside of your house. And there's spare nose pads as well if the ones that come pre-installed don't fit you. And you've got the like prescription like blank lenses in there as well. But as has been the case for the past few models that I've tried, the pre-installed nose pads have been perfect for me. I've not needed to change them, but your mileage may vary there. Inside the case, we get the connection cable. Now this time round, we actually get a different type of connection cable. So in the past, the ones that I've looked at have had like a proprietary magnetic connection type on the side of the glasses, whereas this time we get USB-C to USB-C. So it actually like plugs in on the back end of the arm. Then we get the glasses themselves, same great compact design from Viture, but I really like that the arms are movable between 3 different settings now, so you can really tailor them to your own preference and head shape, because everyone's ears and eyes are all different, right? But I do like the fact that they move up and down. Now, since these have so many features, they actually have a full-on menu system built into the glasses, and there's even a tutorial built in so that you know what every button combination is capable of. And it does force this on you when you first turn them on, which I'm actually pretty happy about. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, I don't need this. And then I used it and I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely need this. And I even referred to it like multiple times later as well. And obviously, talking of the buttons, we have more of those too to be able to navigate and do other stuff. So we have a button on each side and an up and down rocker on each side now, and they have various features. So single tapping R1 changes the view mode from anchor, follow, or smooth follow, etc. Double tapping it is 2D to 3D. Long pressing recenters the image if you have it anchored. And the left side, a single tap changes between brightness or volume adjustment. Double tap is side mode. Long press is menu. And in the menu, a single tap is select, double tap is back. Now, it does sound like a lot, and that kind of is because it is a lot, but that inclusion of that tutorial that we referred to earlier is actually handy, and I did end up using this multiple times when I forgot one of the combinations. It's really easy to use. Now, they still have adjustable electrochromatic film with 9 levels of adjustment, so you can see what you're doing in the real world or darken it if you don't want to see and focus on your game or your work or whatever. I really like this feature because if you're on the bus, you want to be able to see through and actually see everything that's going around, like you, if you're on a train or something, right? But maybe you really want to lock into what you're doing and you're feeling safe enough to not see the world around you, and then you could just dim it right out. Now, what I really like is the different screen modes. So you've got the spatial anchor, which is a fixed position screen. This is really cool because effectively what this does is it pins the screen in front of you. And if you move your head left or right, the screen doesn't move, it just stays where it stays. Smooth follow, which is actually my favorite and preferred method of using this, it does follow your vision. So if I looked left, then the screen would float left with me smoothly, which is really cool. Now, normal follow is the same as smooth follow, but it's not smooth. It's not got like a slight delay and like a smoothness to it. It's just immediate, and It's a little bit jittery. If you move your head like around unconsciously, then the screen will be kind of like following you immediately without any sort of grace there. So smooth follow is my favorite because you can kind of gently move your head around. It doesn't really move it. And if you do quite a big bit of movement, then it slowly follows you. Now, I must say, I did notice on the anchor mode, when I'm really nitpicking here, that if you move your head too quickly left and right, you can almost see like a motion blur applied to the image. And what I'm saying is move your head left and right fast, but keep your eyes on that center. You will see that the image kind of blurs. But if you keep your head locked and like strafe your head left and right, you don't get that blur. Now, this really isn't a deal breaker, and I am being really nitpicky here because I've got to find something that I can say that needs to be improved on in the future, right? But this really is not an issue. I didn't have a problem with this myself, and I didn't notice it with the follow methods. So smooth follow or normal follow, you didn't get that kind of like motion blur thing. But another feature that these have, which I absolutely love, is the ability to change the distance of the screen. So you can make it like further away from you or really close to you. Now, this is new for me in terms of previous models that I've tried, right? They didn't have this, whereas this does. So you can actually make the screen like really far away, and so it's a bit smaller, or like really close as if you're like sat on the front row of a cinema, right? Now, I really like this because it tailors how you experience either a movie or a video game or whatever. And I also find this completely fixes the issues I've had on previous models where the edges were sometimes either difficult to see or slightly out of focus. I just found if I just shifted the screen away from me like one step, then I could see everything clearly and I didn't have those kind of like focus difficulties in the edges. And also, talking of focus, despite having no myopia adjustments, I actually found these to be a much clearer image quality than the previous ones where I was trying to dial in my actual like prescription. Now, widescreen support is actually really cool for productivity users. If you're plugging this into a computer or a laptop and wanting a literal widescreen experience where you can have different apps and stuff open, then this is going to be great. Games can also run in it as well. It's very easy to do via the menu system, but because I was mainly gaming, I did actually just prefer the normal kind of resolution 16:9 for gaming rather than this like widescreen. Now, the 3D mode is a pretty fun feature to have and to include, and I think certain users will love it, especially those that are actually going to be using these for movie viewing. Right, so I think this is where it's going to shine. However, because we're a gaming channel and I like gaming, I mainly played games on this, and for certain games, it was really cool. I actually like doing this with like 2D games because it just gave that perception of more depth and it's a little bit easier on the eyes. But overall, in general, for like 3D games and stuff, like 3D games, you know what I'm saying. Personally, I just preferred gaming in 2D because it just gave me a little bit less eye strain. But I think if you use the 3D mode like slowly over time, you probably get more used to it. And of course, talking of gaming is just great. I paired these up with my Legion Go 2, and the first thing that always shocks me is actually the audio, believe it or not, because these have Harman audio built into the glasses. It is so clear and it gets reasonably loud as well, but it just helps with that immersion. And weirdly, when you take them off and like hold the glasses away from you, it's not even that loud, but when you've got them on, it feels like you've got a pair of headphones on, like with the volume. So as I mentioned earlier, I feel like these are just even clearer than the previous models that I've used, and using that smooth follow feature and being able to adjust the screen to like a different distance helped me to get a more natural position that I just felt comfortable viewing in, and also just seemed to give me more clarity than any of the previous Viture models that I'd tried before. Now, of course, these come in at a whopping $550. So for someone like myself, I don't think I'd actually go out and buy these just because they're expensive. If I'm pairing them with my Legion Go 2, you're looking at like a $2,000 setup, almost, right? But for those that are going to utilize the widescreen mode, or just people that really have a need for XR glasses, I think these are brilliant. I think these are my favorite Viture glasses that I've tried yet, the Viture Beast, because of all these features that I've just discussed. They're just a really cracking pair of XR glasses. So if you've got cash burning a hole in your pocket, maybe check out the Viture Beast XR glasses. Anyway, that's enough from me today. Let me know your thoughts on XR glasses and Viture glasses down in the comments. Are you going to be getting some? Have you tried some? Let me know all of your thoughts. And of course, like this video, subscribe, become a member, and you get to chat to myself and AJ over on our private Discord, and stick around for all things handheld gaming. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.